Hello and welcome to the Class 166 video. This is part 2. We're on the way to London Paddington right now, continuing off from last time, and currently travelling at around, 80 miles an hour. And the good news is that I remembered where we started off from. Don't worry, it wasn't that long ago. And we started off near Reading, I believe. And then we went to Maidenhead, and then finally we're going to head down to Paddington. And according to the marker, we're not too far off. We're about, I think that's either 14 or 18 miles. You can probably see it better in the video. But yes, because the screen on SHAREfactory is very small with the actual footage, and half of it is taken up by the stupid thing letting me know that it's recording, even though I know it is recording because I'm speaking. But anyway, I am going to be doing a video after this on the Class 43, so that's good news. Although, pretty brain dead moment from me, and a little bit of clever editing work to hide the fact that I made a big mistake. But in a way, it sort of demonstrates, what you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do. And that was concerning the DSD system, which is basically the dead man switch on the train. If you don't keep pressing the button when the alarm first sounds, the train will slam on the brakes. And I didn't hear the beeping because I listened to Spotify whilst I'm recording the footage, and thankfully that doesn't show up on here, nor does it actually affect the recording in any way. So no music, I'm afraid, but good news is that I won't be getting a copyright strike for that, because that's ridiculous. Anyway, I was thinking about DLCs for this game and which ones I'm interested in and which ones I'm not. And there are actually quite a few DLCs already available. And obviously the Northern Transpennine one is the one that I'm going to be getting next. And they also have the Tees Valley line, which is coming soon, I believe. I think. Either that or it's nearly out. And they also have the West Somerset Railway as well. I think there's one other one that I'm forgetting, but yeah. And as far as the ones in America go, there's only two. There's the one we already have, the Northeastern Corridor, and the other one is the Long Island rail thing, which looks a little more fun than at Northeastern Corridor. Although that's not really the game's fault, that's my fault for not knowing how to drive the bloody train in that. But yeah. So a lot of talking, 18 minutes worth of talking I have to do now. Is that an 18 or is that a 10? I think that's 18. I will know after this how long it is. I swear it's 18. Anyway. So this is a long journey. And a lot of journeys in this game are going to be long. And usually with the Class 166 we have to stop at multiple stations. But this one I got lucky and just had to stop at one. And I don't know. Stopping and starting might be a little bit more interesting, because then you get to see all the different stations that I stop at. But yeah, this one is just a straight go ahead to Paddington. Also, we are travelling quite slow. I think that's mostly to keep up with the pace that the game wants us to go at. And the game very rudely, in my Class 43 video, which is coming up, I know, I'm sort of spoiling it, but the game, in a way, just told me to stop, and I had absolutely no idea why it told me to stop, because the speed limit on the track was 125 miles an hour, and I was at about 90, and I had to slow all the way down. I didn't make it, by the way, but the it changed to yellow, or an amber signal before I got too close to it and passed the signal at red. So that was very lucky. That was a very lucky escape, but then something stupid happened after that, and that was my fault. So anyway, yeah, just watch out. The readouts at the top right of the screen there, with the net signal and the speed limit, those are very important things to pay attention to, because you can be caught out with the sudden speed limit change if you're not careful. But it shouldn't be. It's usually not too drastic of a change, and it probably will never happen on the big stretch of track that's between Reading and Paddington. It's only when you get to those areas, the big stations, that you have to slow down as you're entering, because otherwise it probably wouldn't be safe to have trains travelling about, what, 70, 80 miles an hour? Yeah, not safe at all. And there's another train that we just went past, and I think that's the high-speed train, what we'll be driving next episode, so that's excellent. And I say we'll be driving, I'll be driving it, but you'll be getting to watch, so it's like you're driving it as well. And I think there was a train parked at that station as well. Yeah, you'll see them go around and do things, so that's fun. At least it's a proper working environment, basically. Everything works as it should do. You know, the AI knows what it's doing. I've never really experienced any problems with AI in this game. The passengers can be a little bit, shall we say, not clever. Sometimes when you stop at a station, it looks like no one's even getting off the train. And for the high-speed train, that's understandable, because, you know, the stop at Paddington and Reading is only there because, well, there's nothing beyond that. You can't go to the locations that they would actually be travelling to. So places like Cardiff and Penzance and all that. So the bit of the line that we're on is just Reading to Paddington, that's it. But it is a long stretch, and there are stations, and oh look, we've just received a reward, a little pop-up there, telling us that we've done a certain amount of miles in this thing. I'm most experienced with the high-speed trains. Those are the ones that I've tended to drive a lot more, and I think the reason why that is because it's a lot more simplified. There's only really 2 buttons that you'll use to control that train, and in this one there's 1, but at the same time it can be a little bit confusing to have to remember that it's all controlled with 1 lever, the braking and the throttle. So anyway, I may actually do a video after that with the rapid transit. What would you even call that? It's like a section of the game, basically. The rapid transit section of the game, which takes place in Germany. And we'll be driving a Bombardier Talent 2 in that, which is electric. It's an electric train, yeah. So it's a lot smoother, and it, you know, gets up to speed a lot quicker. This is a diesel unit, however, as is the well, as are all of the trains that GWR operates in this game. That's not saying that we won't have electric trains. They are planning on electrifying the line, so yeah, that's been going on for a while, and I don't know if they're done with that, but I think they are, sort of, down in London anyway. I don't think it's happening up here. And I don't want to mention anything about HS2 or anything, because I know a lot of people hate that. Oh look, a train. Another one. Great, another 166 on the way to one of the stations. Yeah, the AI trains, they drive around, they stop at places that they're supposed to stop at, so they replace all the other services that you're not doing. And I don't know if there's any particular reward for doing all the services, because there are a lot of them. So there's different months, and I believe that they all take place. Okay, the main, there's 4 seasons, obviously: summer, winter, autumn, spring, blah blah blah. You know, those 4. Not in that order, of course. But yeah, so there's lots of services for each one, and I think there's only one day in each season, rather, that you can do. You can do them at any time, by the way. You can play winter in the middle of summer, you know, when it's summer where you are. You know, you don't have to wait until that time of the year to access those. We may actually do one in winter, why not? Sometime. I don't know which train we'll be driving. Ooh, another train. Another high speed one. And yeah. By the way, don't ask me to name where we are in relation on the line, because I have absolutely no idea. There's a list of stations on the wiki for the game, so you can look at all the routes, and I can't remember the stations on this, so yeah, I don't know exactly what station we're nearest to. I just know that we're supposed to be heading to Paddington, and we're a little bit away from that, because there's about 6 minutes left of the video. But we should be nearing it now, because you'll know when you're getting near to Paddington, because it changes. Just the landscape changes. It gets to be more urban, like in the middle of the city, because, you know, that's where Paddington is. It's down in London, where I've never been to, actually. I was also thinking about places that they could add for future DLCs, and the Liverpool to Manchester then to Leeds line is sort of something that's a lot more, I feel, historically substantial. Although that might be a little bit too long, but they have the line as it was in 1983, because that's what the Transpennine Park is, the Manchester to Leeds line, anyway. So I imagine it's the same, because I've looked down the list of routes, you know, the list of stations along that route, and I do believe that the track does still go past those stations. So yeah, some of the stations might not be there anymore, but, you know, whatever, it is what it is. But I'm pretty sure that it hasn't changed that much since that time. You know, it describes it as an aging network, but, you know, obviously things are replaced and whatnot. I wouldn't exactly know whether it's the same. I may have to look that up. But as we get into Paddington, we have to slow down. And I do believe that this is the final corner before we get there. See, the speed limit has been dropped down to 40. And we're going to have to start slowing down. We're almost there, though. Paddington is apparently a mess of overhead gantries and signals, and there's so many tracks that it's very difficult to know which signal is actually for your. See, look, there's loads along there, and I think the signal that corresponds to your train is the one on the left of the leftmost side of your track, I think. It seems to be, anyway. I should really look that up, though. That would be interesting to know. I think if you're going the other way, it would be on the rightmost side of the track. Although, it may show up on the leftmost side, I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see one day. But we're going to be pulling into Paddington, like, right now. There we go. And we're here. Almost, anyway. We've just got to slow down the train and stop within the marked zone, which is over there. There it is. So the closer to the green you get, the better. I think that's the sort of guidelines where real trains would be tasked to stop at. Although it's close to the edge of the track there. So no fooling around. We did stop a little bit short though. But we completed that service. Just have to unlock the right hand side of the doors, because that's where the platform is. And once we're finished unloading the passengers, or loading them rather, we can finish off with this service. Set it back to neutral, put the brakes in full service, blah blah blah. That's what would happen in real life. It's to stop the train from rolling back with the brakes fully engaged. That's a safety precaution, I suppose. I have had the train roll back at one point. I have had that happen, and I had to quickly stop it from doing that and then readjust, because it stopped loading the passengers at the same time, so I had to go back to the area and hope that it would start loading them again. Yes, that's happened once. Also, remember to stay in the vehicle, stay in the train, otherwise, because you're going to have to lock the doors, you know, and you can't do it from outside. Right, sit back down and lock the doors. That's the wrong way. There we go. And there we go. There's our summary. And we got here on time. We made Maidenhead on time. And we've got loads of points for that. Experience with the Class 166 and all the rest of that. So, hope you enjoyed that. And I'll see you in the next video, where hopefully we'll be driving the Class 643, except I know that we are, because I've already got the footage for that. I'll see you then.